know how I'm going to see my hotspot on.
No. Hello.
Oh.
We're live.
And it worked.
Yeah, I got my hotspot going.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now
I
I
was like,
kind
oh,
of.
mine, I can't even see hotspot on mine anymore. I don't know where it's from.
I don't know, but I am gonna check and make sure that we are live.
We are. I just got a notification.
Oh,
so we're going.
Perfect. Okay, great.
We are.
Ah, yay! Oh
Ooh.
goodness, it's been a day. Well, we're apologizing for starting late. First, it was my fault, and then we had technical difficulties. So
it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens. But anyway, we are here today to discuss Th1rt3en by Steve Cavanagh. This was our March book club book, my pick.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I expected it to be a lot better than it was. But we'll get into that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I did bring activities.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We get to pick. Well, I guess, we're going to pick what we're doing, but it's all Legos.
Legos.
So this is a typewriter or keyboard. I don't know. It's one of those 3-in-1 Legos.
Uh-huh.
And then I have this one, which is a bunny for Easter. But it also can be a little seal or a dog. Another 3-in-1.
Oh,
how cute.
Okay.
How cute. Also, I don't know what this is supposed to be. On the back, a giraffe.
A giraffe,
maybe?
It looks like. Yeah.
That's a really weird looking giraffe, but yeah, so I brought that, and then I also brought a daffodils.
Oh,
So,
fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spring
themed, can you tell? I don't know, I kind of want to do the bunny. I'm not even gonna lie.
Bunny. That's okay. I was looking at this. I'm thinking, this looks fun.
Yeah, I saw that one and I'm like, oh, a typewriter, how cute and bookish.
Yeah, a typewriter, or it kind of looks like a keyboard guitar thing.
Oh yeah,
right there, or a little flower pot.
Cute. I have no idea how to open this box though. Dude, they lock up Legos now at Walmart.
Do they really?
Yeah, like you have to go and get someone like his printer ink or whatever.
Well, okay, so I was watching I was watching a video, and they were talking about a new Lord of the Rings set, and it is like $300. Dang.
Insane.
Legos.
That doesn't surprise me though, because there's like some Harry Potter Legos that I want to get, but they are like $200 plus, and it's like the whole Hogwarts castle and stuff. So I mean, I get it, but like also I don't get it.
Oh wow, it's like a whole book. Instruction. Dang. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done Legos in a hot minute. So
me either.
We're gonna be learning on the go here. Okay. Oh, you can make it into a deer too? That's wild. Goodness. I just want the bunny. Oh, look at the little
do the typewriter.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So many things.
Okay. Requires instructions.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. Let me get my pieces out. Okay, so the book, Th1rt3en, it is about this defense attorney named Eddie Flynn who gets pulled onto this very high-profile case for the celebrity Bobby Solomon, who is being charged with murdering his wife and his bodyguard after they were found murdered in his home. Murder. And then we also have kind of the side plot where the actual killer of his wife and bodyguard is working his way onto the jury for this case, so that way he can try and steer the verdict in the way that he wants it to go and all of that. So yeah, this was the not the fourth book in like a series, but the fourth book in like Eddie Flynn world. The fourth Eddie Flynn book. I don't know. I don't really think that you needed to read any of the other ones to
No,
know
I don't
what's
think
going
so.
on. There wasn't a moment where I'm just like confused or like
No,
feel like I was missing out on anything.
No. The only thing, maybe a little context about Eddie's life, maybe you might get. But as far as like the main plot of the story, no, you don't need to read the other two.
Yeah.
Oh, and as per usual, we will be like going full on spoiler. So,
Oh yeah. So
if you haven't read it and you don't want to be spoiled,
then
see ya.
Yeah. We'll see you
See you
later.
later.
Alligator, come back when you've read the book.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if there's different ways to put my bunny here, or if he's just gonna have to stand up. Oh, he just moves on his own. Okay, cool. So yeah, like I said, I expected to like this book a lot better than I did, because the tagline here is that the serial killer isn't on trial, he's on the jury, which sounds like a book that I would absolutely love, because serial killers and all of that, y'all know if you've been here, how much I love serial killers and all things about them. But I just could not get into this book. I really could not. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it a 2 or a 3 star yet. I don't know. It just didn't live up to my expectations.
Yeah. I'm probably going to land at a 3, because it wasn't necessarily a bad book. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I read it like in one day. I read it quick. So I said, it's not like it was horrible or anything, but I just didn't really like it.
Yeah.
It was meh. Very meh.
Yeah, it started off like really slow too. Like I felt like the beginning was slow. There was kind of like a lot of scene setting and all of that going on. And they're trying to set up the trial and get ready for the trial and all of that, and it just was kind of boring.
Well, I mean, truthfully, I like the beginning probably more than just about anything.
Really?
Because I mean, it started off with Eddie in court and making, a really good like argument and getting this lady, getting her charges dropped or thrown out or whatever. And then him being basically recruited by this high-powered lawyer, because I guess Eddie's kind of specialty was to, well, hi, George. How are you? Okay. Hi. Yeah. You can get in here in the middle of everything. I don't really think that's a good idea right now. Hey, come here. I know. Later, okay, George?
Oh, life is rough, buddy.
Yeah, it is. So, like, Eddie's specialty was like kind of proving the cops did something wrong, or
yeah, like, well, his main thing was that he was really good at knowing when somebody was innocent or guilty, and he refused to represent anyone that he believed to be guilty. Right. So he was actually like a good defense lawyer, not a bad defense lawyer.
Yeah.
In that sense, I guess. And yeah, and a lot of times he was up there showing that the cops were crooked.
Yeah.
In the NYPD.
Sounds like his specialty. And so this high-powered attorney wanted him because there was certain evidence in this Bobby Solomon case that they thought the cops had messed up. So,
or that they were trying to frame him, like planted evidence and things like that.
So they wanted to. So I mean, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I did like that, like the very, very beginning. Yeah, I did like
the very beginning,
because that was like really fun to see, like just him pull that out, like I pull it out of his hat like a magician. Like we're like, here's this little. Yeah, no, that was good, but it was kind of like the stuff that came after that I was just like, oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really didn't care for the way that it was written, because it just, like, if it was a TV show, it would have been okay, but sorry, I had to sneeze. But reading it just wasn't it. Like, it reminded me a lot of like CSI Miami, in the way of just like everything was kind of like so dramatic and just like all these things, and you kind of had to like descend reality a bit. Like, you couldn't think about what was happening in the book like logically and realistically, because there were so many things that happened that would never happen in real life.
Yeah, the way that the serial killer got on the jury.
Oh my god.
I'm like, really?
It's like, this is no.
Some of it was a bit of a stretch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it was, as long as you didn't think about it, it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool being like, oh my gosh, how he did what? Like, yeah, but I couldn't stop thinking about it.
And I mean, at first, the things he was doing, like killing off potential jurors and identity theft, like, I got that.
Yeah.
It was after that that it lost me a bit.
Yeah.
Some of the things that he did, I just didn't. Oh, like, okay, sure, whatever. We'll go with that.
Oh my gosh, my bunny has a heart. He has a little heart inside of him.
Little heart.
Oh my gosh. It's so cute. I freaking love Legos, man. But yeah. I really didn't like the chapters with the serial killer.
I didn't either.
Those were my least favorite, and I think I skimmed like 90% of them. So
I just thought that having those chapters in there honestly just ruined the story for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you knew what was going on. You knew there was no mystery to it.
Right. And there was a lot of times where it kind of like would repeat scenes. Like I understand that you're going to want to see some scenes from like different POVs and like how the characters are going to react differently and everything, but it was like almost too similar, where I felt like, I'm like, I just read this. I just read this. So yeah, I didn't like that, and I didn't need his backstory, because his backstory wasn't interesting enough. It was so like,
no,
like all of his stories were just so typical, I guess, and there wasn't anything that was like, whoa, you know?
Yeah,
that was disappointing, and it still didn't like fully explain why he was doing what he was doing. Like, why you know?
Really. I mean,
like, yeah, he had like. So it just like went into like, oh yeah, he was killing animals and his mom was like whatever, and I'm like, okay.
Well, because that's, the hallmark of a serial killer.
Yeah,
is starting with small animals.
Yeah, but at least make it interesting. It was literally just like show and tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
check the boxes. Let's check the boxes. This is what we need to have in order to have a serial killer.
Yeah. Like, do better, Steve, do better.
Yeah, I agree. The serial killer was not that. I mean, the hook of the serial killer was that he kept getting on the jury, because he would rig the scene to incriminate someone else, and then he would get on the jury to make sure that person was convicted. That was the hook. But as a serial killer, he was pretty run of the mill.
Yeah, there was nothing special about him.
No, even his killings were not.
No, like, that's just
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so that
the way that he talked, like in his sections, were just so strange. So strange.
Yeah, like I read this like a week ago. I don't even remember.
yeah, they were just, I don't know, like, obviously, like, you would expect him to be, like, cocky and super confident and, like, all this stuff because, like, he's gotten away with it for so long and, like, that's just serial killers. But it just...
He was special. His mama had always told him he was special.
Oh my god, if I had to read that he was special one more freaking time in this book, I was going to... I don't even know. I was going to throw the book across the room. It's just over and over again. Mama always said I was special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care what your mama said. I really don't. Yeah, no. Oh.
Basic. You're basic.
He was a basic bitch.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I read this a week ago. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what it was that... How did they catch on? I don't even remember now. That's so weird.
The dollar bill.
Oh, right. They went to the FBI.
Yeah.
But why did they go to the FBI again? Just...
Well...
What? I cannot remember.
This is so...
Oh,
sad.
because the dollar bill was stuffed down in the guy's throat.
Yeah, that was his calling card, was the dollar bill.
Was the dollar bill. Because he was, like, trying to destroy the American dream. Because his mama she worked her butt off and never got her American dream. And he never got his American dream. So he was targeting people that had just, like, done well. Like, one guy won the lottery, one guy got an inheritance, and those weren't the people he was killing. Those were the people he was framing. Mm-hmm. So he was destroying their lives so that they didn't get their American dream. Yeah. That's what it was.
Which that I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
That was a new twist to have, like, to go after, like, to frame people for stuff. So I did like that. But yeah. Oh no. Wrong way. Oh, geez.
I mean, it was an interesting reason.
Yeah.
For being a killer. So that his, real targets weren't the people he was killing. Mm-hmm. But I still can't remember. I guess it was just because Eddie wanted to know if there were any other signatures with dollar bills. He thought that was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, because he called up his friend Harper. Mm-hmm. And then I think Harper called Delaney at the FBI. Mm-hmm. And then, they just wanted to find if there were more cases because there had something. Oh, they found the pattern on the dollar bill. That's what it was. The pattern with the stars and everything.
Things that were colored in on the dollar bill.
And so then they're like, oh, this is something.
Yeah, and Delaney had been putting this together.
Mm-hmm. What piece even is this? I don't even have this piece.
So anyway, they figured out.
Sorry.
I mean, he knew it wasn't Bobby because he could just see it. Mm-hmm. He just knew it. You get a sense for it.
Yeah. He could just look into his eyes and he just knew that he didn't have the look of someone who was guilty.
And that other attorney's like, I knew once you met him. I knew. You could tell. You could tell the look.
Like, okay.
Okay, sure. Except he knew that. He could tell it. But yet, through the entire book, he was like, well, maybe he fooled me.
Yeah. He's an actor. And they're so good at what he does. So maybe this is the time that I've been fooled. Like,
okay, Eddie. Gosh. Okay, whatever. So you're saying...
Yeah, like, what are you saying?
So you're saying you can't tell. I don't know.
I don't think
whatever.
Eddie knew.
I don't think Eddie knew. Anyway, yeah, so And then they were, well, how did they figure? I can't remember. See, okay, that's how memorable this book was because I literally just read this last Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday, a week ago today. I think I read this book and I read it all in one day. But I cannot remember. I remember them figuring out that it was a serial killer. I remember them finding other cases.
Mhm.
And I remember them looking into the other people who had been convicted of the murders that they thought. And then they kind of worked their way up to, well, he has to be like, how can he be sure?
Mhm.
How can he be sure, that, yeah, you could get him arrested, but how can you be sure they're going to be convicted?
Yeah.
And somehow that led to he's in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Well, how is that gonna?
There was something about how like they just knew that he would return to the trial or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just
So he had to be in the courtroom. And like, to me, if you want to manipulate a trial, isn't the obvious step that you have to be on the jury?
right.
Not just in the courtroom. What are you going to do in the courtroom? You kind of have to be on the jury, don't you? I don't know.
I mean, I would think so, but
I would think that would be the obvious choice there, but I mean, I don't know.
they probably just didn't want to believe that their jury was that.
Tampered with.
Yeah.
Except they did from the beginning. They thought that, and so much crap was going on with this jury. The fact that they didn't figure out something else, something was up here. I mean, first of all, the woman actually on the jury got bumped off because Cain, the serial killer, didn't get on. He was the first alternate.
That was so dumb.
And all because this woman like bumped ahead of him in line and took the seat. And I'm not sure that's how that works.
I don't think that is.
I'm not
But
sure how that
maybe.
works.
I don't know. I've never had to serve on a jury, so gosh,
when you
knock on wood, somebody.
Yeah, I mean, when you pick your 12 and then you've got your alternates, it's whoever gets to the 12 seats first. That's how the 12 what?
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, that's what happened. And then so Cain had to kill the woman who bumped him out of his chair so that he could, because he was the first alternate then. And that caused them to sequester the jury because they were in danger. I was like, okay. I don't. But then he started bumping off people that he thought would vote against him.
Yeah. Which makes no sense either.
And we didn't figure out that maybe there's something up with this jury. Like, he killed 3 of the jurors. 3 of them. That seems a little outlandish to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would.
And that nobody was catching on.
I would have hoped that somebody would have, noticed something sooner and been like, hey, we got a problem here.
I think there's something going on here. You think? I don't know. That part seemed a little unrealistic to me, I guess. That nobody thought anything. I mean, they thought something was going on, but yeah, okay. That was odd to me. And I really didn't need the whole once the trial started, there was like the chapters would end or begin. I think it was the chapters ended with this. So the defense had hired this.
Oh, Arnold stuff.
Yeah. The defense had hired this like jury consultant, right? To help them figure out which people to pick. And so after the trial started, after the jury had already been picked and the trial started, then every chapter would end with like a report, Arnold's report on one of the jurors. Like, wouldn't that have been better like towards the beginning? Like when they were choosing the jury?
Right. Because I skipped all of those. I literally was like, this, I don't care. It
I
doesn't
did
matter.
too.
Like, this is pointless right now. The jury's already been selected. We're already in the middle of the trial.
Yeah.
So, like,
Okay.
and we know it's not going to matter what the probability of them voting not guilty is. It's not going to matter.
Yeah. But I think that was supposed to be either your clues as to which of the jurors the serial killer was versus, and also trying to mislead you about which one it was. Because honestly, I will say I got I got duped about which one of the jurors that it was, because everything leading up to that, it made no sense. It made no sense afterwards.
Yeah.
And that made me angry because I was like, I knew it wasn't the one that they thought at first, that Alec.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, obviously, like, you knew that for sure.
You knew that because it was in the end when they were like raiding the hotel, and all I could remember, think when they were knocking the door down was, oh no, they've got the wrong room because he switched the room with that lady, right? That wasn't it.
Nope.
Because in the end, it didn't matter, and that didn't even matter. And the jurist that it was didn't fit with anything that had gone before. So I'm like, well, yeah, it's real easy to confuse me when you lie to me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't. Oh. You tried too hard on that one.
Yeah.
To mislead. They really did. To the point where it just didn't make sense as to which of the jurors that it was. And the juror that it was, there was some of the things that, I mean, I'm sorry. It got real confusing there towards the end, but it's like, there is no way that if this man truly was the juror that they said it was, he couldn't have done what he did. Just no. I was just so weirded out by that whole thing. It was just so weird. It's dumb.
Yeah. Well, and I, quite frankly, I didn't even pick up on the fact that we were trying to figure out what juror it was. I was just like, I'm over this book. I don't
care.
I'm just like, I don't care. And so the big reveal as to who it was like, that's not it. And obviously, like, the Alec thing did not get me. I'm like,
no.
Obviously, that's not him.
Well, and again, you knew that they couldn't be knocking down his door because he traded rooms with the woman. Duh.
Yeah.
But then to not even have it be him. And I was like, really? And then I got really confused because it was supposed to be the old man juror, but yet through this whole thing, there was absolutely no hint that the serial killer was of that age.
Right.
None.
Yeah, they even said, like, in the book that, like, after Arnold was like, yeah, I noticed this guy's face change or whatever.
Yeah.
Which that was so dumb. It was so dumb that they even threw this whole, like, oh my gosh, it's the wrong guy, like, the way that they did it. Because it would have been so much better for them to have realized who the juror was, like, who he really was, the real one, and then to go to the wrong room because he switched with the lady. Because he
switched with the lady.
Like, that would have made so much more sense than them being like, oh, Arnold, saying that he saw this guy's face change.
Yeah.
Because there was even a whole section in Kane's thing where
his
like,
face changed.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he saw my real face.
And then it wasn't him.
And I'm like, what? Like, this would have been so much better done if he would have just stuck with that, my guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because there's red herrings and then there's lying
mhm.
to your reader, and I felt like it was more like lying to the reader.
Yeah, I
So,
agree with that.
You can't your red herring has to be true. And I don't know. It just made me angry. Cuz by that point it just didn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, it really didn't. It's just like, okay, whatever is going to happen because I have nothing here to help me figure it out.
I now no longer care.
Yeah. Okay,
so you lost me. But it just felt like it was so misleading that it felt like continuity errors.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did go back and read a couple things going, that can't be right, because there was the whole thing about the fishing and all of that. And of course, the one juror had his whole bio was all about being the outdoorsman and the fisherman and all of that. So I went back because I'm like, well, he just lied. I mean, did he not check this over? Like, okay, that was dumb. And there wasn't. I mean, if I remember, there wasn't any like bio information on the old man that said he was an outdoorsman, that he was a sportsman, that he
On Alec?
fished. On Alec there was.
Oh, yeah.
But not the old man. I can't remember. I can't even remember the name of the guy.
Wasn't Alec the old guy?
No.
Oh my gosh, there's a whole nother character that I don't even know.
It was, the whole red herring was that he was supposed to be Alec, but it turned out to be the old man. And Alec was not the old man. That's why they stormed Alec's room, because they thought it was Alec. And he wasn't in that room because it wasn't him. So I don't know. And then it made me go back. Well, I didn't, because I didn't care by that point. But to go back to that original murder when he stole his identity, murdered him, and then stole his identity. And I'm like, does that really fit? Because I don't remember that even fitting.
Yeah. It's because it didn't.
Because it didn't. Anyway, as you can tell, I don't feel like it was well done.
Yeah, I also don't think it was well done. Sadly. It could have been. It could have been. It just needed to work on continuity things, and I don't know. It was trying so hard to be so over the top dramatic in certain parts that it completely lost the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just lost everything.
Yeah. Okay, and the other thing that really bothered me was that Eddie was estranged from his wife because, first of all, because his job was just too dangerous. And he's an attorney.
Yeah, okay.
His job was just too dangerous, but also that he was an alcoholic. But he could still drink as long as he was drinking with his friend. Because then his friend would cut him off whenever, would allow him 2 drinks, and that was it. And then that was okay. And like, that's not how alcoholism works, first of all.
No.
And then his friend, who's supposed to be keeping him in line, who was also the judge in the trial, by the way.
Can you say conflict of interest?
Yeah, left his house and left the bottle of bourbon behind. Or scotch. I guess they drank scotch. Left it behind. And yet Eddie was so good that he overcame all temptation.
But you never really saw him struggle that much with it.
No,
like,
he pour himself a drink, and then he just pour it down the drain. Once again, and he was under a lot of stress because something happened, something came out, and this Bobby Solomon was a movie star getting ready to hit it big, which is why he was targeted by the serial killer. And so something came out about Bobby, and the studio dropped him. And so all of his legal team belonged to the studio. They hadn't been hired by Bobby, so they left him. And of course, Eddie stayed. Of course he did.
Of course.
Eddie stayed. So Eddie's under a lot of stress here because, it's a high profile case. He's all on his own. His wife just filed divorce papers. He hasn't lived with his wife or his daughter for months. And he's under all this stress. And yet the alcoholic Eddie, who only can drink with his friends, doesn't ever take a drink. Ever. Gets beat up by the police.
Right? There's so many reasons why he should have been drinking.
Hello there, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like Eddie. He was too much of the martyr saint character. Like, he was just so good. It was just, he's such a good guy, but dang, because he was such a good guy, he lost everything. Because he just wouldn't, he
just couldn't stop.
He stood by his principles, and he just couldn't stop helping people, and so that cost him everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't like Eddie.
I didn't like that part about his character, but I did like Eddie. Because I thought it was an interesting premise that he used to be a con man. Defense lawyer. And that he used some of his tricks in court.
Yeah.
That was a great scene when he put the dollar bill in that guy's pocket.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
I was just like, what?
I wonder if I would have liked the first book in this series.
Yeah, maybe we would have gotten...
Hi, Elena. It has been a while. Hello.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool to see if the first book would show him being a con man and then changing into a lawyer from that.
So I wonder if it's one of those things where you kind of, once you like Eddie, he grows on you through the books, maybe. But jumping in at this point, you're just like, this guy is unbelievable. He would rather sacrifice his wife and his daughter for his job. I
honestly didn't mind.
Well, and I can understand why, but he already had a wife and daughter. Take care of your stinking family, Eddie. You signed up for it.
That's fair. That is fair, too.
That he professed to love. It wasn't like he was like, yeah, well, when we were young, that it was one thing, and we've grown apart.
Yeah.
And no, he wanted to get back with his wife, but he wouldn't do what he needed to do to get that done.
Yeah.
Because people are being railroaded by the police, and he was the only one who could help them.
I mean,
sorry. I'm not in it. I'm not in it.
I was okay with it because it just made me think about I don't know, that's how a lot of the male heroes are, and even in all the books, you could almost make a case as how Dean Winchester is.
Yeah, but he never signed up for a family except for that one time. But it wasn't his kid. But it wasn't his kid.
Yes, it was. Ben is Dean's kid. You cannot tell me anything. Even the actress who plays Lisa came out and said, "Yeah, that's his kid."
Okay, then I will make this argument about Dean is that he didn't go looking for trouble. Trouble came to him, and he left Lisa And then because of that, not because he went looking for it, because he was the only one. It came after him. He would have stayed with them.
Yeah.
If Sam had not come back without a soul.
Yeah. Damn it, Sam. Little brothers, man.
Just saying. A little supernatural there for you.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Supernatural spoilers. That's okay. It'll be fine. It probably won't make sense
It's
until
okay.
you watch it. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, I just didn't like Eddie. I just didn't. We were supposed to feel sorry for him because he apparently just couldn't quit being a defense attorney and it cost him his marriage. Well, that and his alcoholism that he just kept doing. So I just couldn't do it. Sorry.
Yep, that's okay.
I just couldn't go there.
That's okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're entitled to your opinion.
I am entitled to my opinion. Thank you. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I just didn't care for Eddie.
Yeah.
Just being the whole suffering hero guy. I'm like, dude, no wonder your wife left you. Come on.
Dang, okay. Oh no, come on, Legos. There we go. We have a paw. We have a little bunny paw.
I have the start of the keyboard.
Woo!
And my typewriter.
Oh, that is cool.
I know, right? It's just a really good thing that there is like a book of instructions on how to do this because
Yeah, no, like I love that Legos have such good detailed instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Cause ain't no way I'd be figuring this out on my
No.
own.
Right.
I'm not Bob the Builder. I can't fix it.
Yes, you can.
Oh boy.
What else about this book? This
Yeah.
book.
This book.
This book.
Man, I don't even know. Honestly,
What'd you think of the prosecuting attorney? A little over the top, maybe.
just a smidge.
Just a little.
Just a smidge. Yeah. I don't know. He kind of like fit the whole, like my idea of like a prosecuting attorney, I guess, or like whatever, but also
It was like a celebrity prosecuting. It wasn't
Yeah.
like the DA. They had a hired gun come in.
mhm. Yeah, he was something special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was just a second because the serial killer also had an accomplice. So someone that was like feeding him information and stuff like that. And there at the end when he escaped the hotel
Mhm.
and that attorney came driving up through because he had been in the surveillance van seeing all this go down and left in a huff. And when he drove out, he came across the serial killer, and there was a split second that I thought that he was the mole.
Yeah.
And that would have been better.
It would have been for sure.
That would have been pretty fine.
Yeah. I agree. It definitely would have been.
But he wasn't. So there you go.
There's like so many moments in this book where it could have been like, this could have been so good, but you
Yeah.
just didn't.
It just didn't happen.
Like, I don't know if he was just trying. I don't know what he was doing with this book. Like, if he was just trying to go for the shock and awe and just didn't care about it making sense because he just wanted to try and be like, you know, or what, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't work.
And I keep wanting to say this whole book didn't make sense and it just didn't go with itself. But truthfully, I can't really say that for absolute sure because it might have made sense, but it was just so confusing and obscure because he tried so hard to lead you astray that it felt like it didn't make sense, which is just as good as it not being, I mean, same outcome.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I'm putting a little bit on myself that maybe I didn't follow it well enough.
I just don't think that you can say that.
I just don't think that's it.
I don't think it is.
Well, it may not be. Because I kept wanting to say there are continuity errors here.
I mean, I feel like there was.
Like, for instance, when he killed the attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And then it talks about him kicking the attorney out of the car, and he kills him out of the car and drives off. And then in the next scene, the attorney's car is at the crime scene, which you knew it would be because you knew he'd be there.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a figure in the car slumped over like they were sleeping it off.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, okay, well, he's out staking it out or something, right? Well, come to find out, no, it's the attorney that he killed. But didn't it say that he killed him and he fell on the ground and then he drove off?
Yeah.
What?
It sure did.
When did he go get him? When did that happen? Like, so I'm like, yeah, I mean, it could have happened off page. He could have come back. I don't know. It could have happened. But the fact is it didn't happen. And that kind of leading you astray when it's basically like, it's not leading you astray when he's not telling you everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think it was a very good kind of mystery kind of thing.
No.
And like I said, when you had half the book from his point of view, you knew everything that was going on that side. It would have been so much more fun to like figure out he's on the jury with Eddie.
Yeah. 100%. Because again, the serial killers chapters were pointless. Completely pointless.
Yeah, they really were.
They added nothing to the story.
Just to tell you how much smarter he was than everybody else.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Okay, buddy.
So I don't know. And all of these times when it tried to explain how like his fingerprints and his DNA weren't on anything, but yet you were with him while he was doing it. And the whole thing with the notebooks too, they had the wrong guy because his DNA was on the wrong notebook. Well, when did he ever get when did he get that notebook to do that? This stuff came out of the blue, and you're like, a good mystery novel gives you a chance to figure it out.
Yeah. You didn't even get a chance with this one.
No. So I just don't think it did a very good job.
Yeah, not so much.
But the premise is pretty stinking awesome. And it was a serial killer who you saw doing serial killer things. So there was that.
There was that, but that's about it.
And the reason he was doing it, he was kind of a pretty cool serial killer, I must say.
Yeah. That's just
so there was that.
That honestly just makes it more disappointing though. Because like there was so much potential and we didn't get there.
Yeah, that is true.
So
oh, hello you. Hello. Oh. Oh, that's how that's gonna work. I got you now. I got you, Lego.
Oh, little buns. We got a bunny body. Come on, get in there. Yeah. I just have to put it looks like a chicken. Especially from this way, it looks like a chicken.
Oh, what happened? Something is rattling in here. What happened? Something came off. What came off?
No.
Okay. Look out we go.
I'm just
Yeah,
throwing
right
pieces
there.
all over the place over here. I'm getting angry.
Okay. Here we go. Now, in there. In there.
There we go.
I want to see something here.
So yeah, I don't really think I have much else to say about this book.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm missing a piece.
There, I got a little typewriter.
Oh, look at it!
I know.
Kelly's gonna write her first, would it be your first full novel?
No, it wouldn't be.
Kelly's gonna write a novel on the typewriter over here. Does it actually work? No.
No, it doesn't actually work.
Some of the Legos, they do
But
work.
I think there was a little, this little slider piece back here works.
Oh, that's cool.
For now,
Aw.
anyway. Probably until I, cover it out. One of those and one of those. And not that one. A couple of those. Yeah, these are nice. Probably because they're the little children ones. So
Hey,
I can understand them.
They're not children.
They're not?
They're not children. What's the age? 8 plus. Okay, 8 plus. You know what?
They're the
That's
children.
fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
I'm thinking that probably those
That's best for us.
$300 Lord of the Ring ones would probably be way over my head to put together. They probably have a novel-sized instruction manual to go with them.
Some of them do. I've seen some of the Disney ones and stuff, and they
Uh-huh.
have huge books, all 3 of my books put together for
But,
just one part of it.
I guess if you're going to charge $300 for something,
Make it worth
it should probably take you days and days, to do it.
Yeah.
We have more. Elenita. So anyway, I don't know. There you go.
So my guess is that you're not going to read any more Eddie Flynn stories.
No, I am not.
I also will not be reading anymore.
I shouldn't say that because I am kind of curious if I'd like the first one. I didn't necessarily I said, I'm probably going to land at a 3 on this one. So I didn't necessarily hate it. And I might like Eddie better later on.
Yeah.
Or earlier. I should say earlier on. Maybe it would explain the whole martyr complex a little bit better. Because honestly, and I don't really get the whole, he had a reason for, look at your little tail, little ponytail.
Look at it. It moves and I love it. All of this moves, his legs and his tail.
Oh,
I know, it's so cute.
So fluffy. Eddie had a reason for why he had to be the way he was. He felt guilty because he had represented somebody who turned out to be guilty. Okay. So he got fooled. And it just left him feeling so guilty that he just felt like he absolutely had to make things right. And the only thing that could alleviate his guilt or his debt to society was if he were to continue to champion people who were wrongly accused. And if he didn't do that, well, I don't know. I guess he was just a crap person or something. I don't know. But that was the whole reason why he had to leave his wife and daughter and couldn't do what they wanted him to do. Except he kind of did, because as part of the deal to go work for this attorney was that he would get a job with the firm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess because he wouldn't be a criminal defense attorney at that point, then he would be in a safer job.
Yeah, that part didn't make any sense to me because he still would be
An attorney. But then he thought his wife would come back.
What a loser that he thought that. I'm sorry, but no. Especially when he's just like, Kevin.
Well, then he didn't even tell her.
No.
I mean, she shows up with divorce papers.
He did tell her.
Did he tell her?
Yeah, he did tell her.
Pay attention.
He told her at that dinner, but then she's like, it's too late. Kevin and I have been seeing each other, and he wants me to move in.
Oh, yeah.
He wants us to move in with him, so...
Kevin.
Yeah, her boss. It totally skipped over that part, that's her boss.
Yeah.
That she's been seeing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Like, hey, Catherine, right? Catherine? Chris. I don't know what her name was.
I don't know.
Christine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, girl.
Yeah, and then it was just like the judge who was his friend, who was also the presiding judge in this court case, apparently got permission from the DA to come over and comfort Eddie because he heard about Christine filing divorce papers.
Yeah, which, come on. There's no way. Like, the fact that
really?
the prosecuting attorney didn't already try and get the judge off of the case.
Well, yes.
Because there's a...
Yes,
like,
right?
Like, initially, that's what should have happened. Like, yeah, I know that he got put on, but, like... And then he, like, made this huge fuss about how, oh, I'm the judge. Like, we can't be talking right now. Like, whatever, at the beginning. And it's just like... Bro, if you're the judge, everyone knows that you're friends anyway. Like, it's already ruined. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. You should think.
Because it is...
You shouldn't have been on it in the first place.
Exactly,
You should have recused yourself from the get-go. Like, this is my friend.
Yes, especially since it was a high-profile case.
In that case. Absolutely.
It's like, oh my gosh. Like, and I just cannot believe that the prosecuting attorney did not try that. Try to get him, like,
well, he shouldn't have been on the case to begin with. I mean,
Right.
come on. What am I doing?
Dummies.
What is... What? Okay, for the first time, I think this thing has kind of stumped me.
Oh, no.
What?
What?
Oh, okay, I got you. Never mind. Okay, I'm good.
I knew you could figure it out.
I figured it out. I did. Although that says ×2. What? What? Oh, do the whole thing ×2. Got ya. Okay, back to the beginning. There's 1. Okay. All right, we're back on track again.
Good deal. Good deal.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
I think this is going to be his head. I think this is his ears. Maybe. I don't know. There's still a lot of book left.
I still have a whole nother package of Legos left I haven't even opened yet.
We're going to have to just continue this while we're doing our monthly wrap-up here.
Oh, yeah, we could.
I'm good with that. Because I really don't have anything else to say about this book.
I really don't either.
I'm just kind of reaching for straws at this point. Much like
I
the
think-
author was while
yeah.
writing it.
I think if you like courtroom procedurals, you know, like if you like watching like the Lincoln Lawyer
Just find something cheesier, like CSI Miami.
Yeah, it was pretty cheesy. I'm just saying. I'm trying to
Yeah.
like, if you are maybe a John Grisham fan and you want some lighter reading, this would be good for you.
Could see that. Could see that. If you like Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King, that series, you might like this. I mean, I wasn't a fan of that, but I mean, Bill Hodges. He was a thing that happened.
Look, there's the signs.
Look at that. It's so cute. It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
It is.
Oh man, I'm messing this up. Okay.
So I think, yeah, if you're a fan of those kind of things, you'll probably like it. If you like a noir kind of character where, it's kind of a suffering main character kind of guy, then you probably would like Eddie.
Yeah.
More than I did.
And yeah.
Yeah, you might like it. I wouldn't really, I don't think I would steer anybody away from it if it was their genre that they like.
Yeah. It wasn't the worst book that I've ever read.
No.
It just wasn't.
It wasn't
my cup of tea.
No, and I will probably, with my qualification, this is not the type of book I like. So if I'm gonna read it, it better be good. Kind of like, when it's like your favorite genre or it's the type of book you like, and one is just not quite as good, you kind of like, that's all right.
Mm.
But I just don't really like.
Yeah, see, I do. I like these kind of books.
You do.
I do. And I just read. But that's okay. I also like books that are a little bit more like a high thrill. This one was just really kind of slow until the very, very end. By the very, very end, I just didn't want to be reading it anymore. I had to accept, I already knew what was going to happen to an extent.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. It was really predictable.
Mm-hmm.
It was. There was no, well, again, because half the book you were already told what the serial killer was doing. So there was no great surprise there.
No. And, like we said, the twists that did happen were only twists because they just were out of the blue.
Yeah. Yeah, it really wasn't well done on that score, at least for me. I didn't feel like they made enough sense. So, I don't know. But again, if this is your genre, if this is the thing that you like lawyers doing lawyery detective sort of things, then yeah.
You might like this book.
You might like this book. Like I said, it wasn't terrible, like terribly written or anything, but just one of the best I've ever read.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, do you have our next book picked up?
I do have our next book.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Picked out, and I know it's one that we both want to read.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh! TJ Klune!
TJ Klune, The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune, which is billed as a supernatural thriller road trip.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
My things I'm knocking over back up on the shelf.
Yeah.
So in the spring of 1995, Nate Cartwright has lost everything. His parents are dead. His only brother wants nothing to do with him, and he's been fired from his job as a journalist in Washington, D.C. With nothing left to lose, he returns to his family's summer cabin outside the small mountain town of Roseland, Oregon. to try and find some sense of direction. The cabin should be empty. It's not. Inside is a man named Alex, and with him is an extraordinary 10-year-old girl who calls herself Artemis Darth Vader. But Artemis isn't exactly as she appears. Soon it becomes clear that Nate must make a choice, let himself drown in the memories of his past, or fight for a future he never thought possible, because the girl is special, and forces are descending upon them who want nothing more than to control her.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's what we're going to read.
It sounds like a good one.
It does sound like a good one. TJ Klune is kind of hit and miss for me. But even the ones that miss, I still enjoy. So I think so. Read this in the month of April. And we will be getting together the first Sunday in May. Right?
I don't know what day that is.
I don't either.
It's a day.
It is a day in May.
May 4th. May the 4th be with you. We're going to have to come dressed with Star Wars.
We'll have to do some Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
We probably should have known that because last year we did Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't pay that close attention.
Yeah. Anyway, join us. Read this in April. Join us in May. And you love cosplay. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far.
She might not, but I will. What do you think? Should we do Princess Leia?
Princess Leia buns. I've got the hair for it.
I've done Princess Leia before. I could probably
put it up.
There you go.
I probably have a white sheet that I could make into a. Anyway, this is what we will be reading. So join us. Yeah. May 4th.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't think where these pieces go.
And, at some point, maybe we'll show you finished projects. We never finish a project when we're...
Well, I mean, if you want to see the finished product, you could just go over to our wrap-up after, in a couple weeks. Next week. Right? Yeah. Our March wrap-up. We'll probably have finished Legos to show you in that one. So, next week, come check out the videos. And, yeah. Where did this piece go?
I'm trying to figure out where this goes. Maybe because I'm putting the wrong piece on first, so it's usually put the right piece on.
Yeah, that might be the issue. That might be the issue.
There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think
check out next week's video.
Yeah. And I think that's gonna do it for us here today.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm glad that we were able to go live this week and didn't have too many technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Still not sure what happened last month, but
I don't either. That was weird.
It was so strange
that we managed it for part of it, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Technology and me are not friends. So
yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, but we're here this time. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up.
Thanks for chatting. We appreciate it.
I love seeing comments in our little chat.
Yes.
So it makes us feel like we're not here all alone. We actually have people that want to hang out with us.
Yeah.
We have friends. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for us today. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'm Amy.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are the Everyday Epic, doing projects that we never finished, but we at least attempted.
But we had fun.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.